Yeah, I started that way on purpose. Losing my voice a little bit, so I'm going to try not to speak too much and overuse my voice. I've been speaking a lot, doing a lot of live streams, recording a lot of videos, and my voice is getting blown out, unfortunately. Listen, man. Give the singer some. Give the singer some. Listen. They're grifting. They're sellouts. They're grifters. People call them truthers. You've been deceived again. And that's the way this matrix works. It's set up to deceive you. So you are a baby truther if you fall for this stuff, these creatures. Absolutely. Because you say, I'm awake, Stephen. I'm not deceived anymore by mainstream media, by television, and by government, and by what they taught me in school, and by Freemasons and NASA astronauts and this and that. But you're fooled on YouTube. So you're still at a baby truther level because you somehow believe that these other channels are all legit. They're authentic. They're truthers, you believe. You're a baby truther then. It's that simple. You're a baby truther. And I know you don't like to hear it, some of you. But if you're falling for mAnmarie Uber and Tony Truth Dodger Sayers, grifting for dollars, selling spirits for shekels, then you're a baby truther. Because you don't see through agents on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you quit watching television and you don't believe the mainstream media news in Hollywood. Great. But here's your replacement right on the screen. Not just these two. Hundreds more. Thousands more. Congratulations. You fell into another trap. Congratulations. And I am saying it this way to really break through to you. I hope it provokes you to say, I don't want to fall for more shit. I don't want to spend more years following liars again. You did that already your whole life, most of you. Most of you followed liars your whole life in school. Teachers that lied to you, textbooks that lied. Even if the teachers weren't intentionally lying, they were reading lies out of the textbooks, out of the school curriculum. They were fooled, and they were pushing propaganda knowingly or unknowingly. Either way. Television lied to you. All of the mass media, newspapers, magazines, published books by the system. And then people get to YouTube and say, finally I found the real truth speakers. Well, who owns YouTube? Oh, Google, and it's one of the biggest companies to ever exist on Earth. Well, it's owned, it's controlled. You're at a baby truther level if you can't see that. These two on the screen, do they do this for free? Do they put out truth and spirituality and try to help people free themselves from this evil matrix? Do they do this for free? No, of course not. It's all for money. It's for profit again. And this isn't a red flag for some of you, because some of you are very damaged beings. And you need to be told this, because a lot of you will go years with nobody telling you this. Nobody will tell you, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, or they don't want to face your wrath and your tantrums and you getting triggered and lashing out. They won't speak the truth to you the way that I will. You're dupes. You're following grifters that will say anything for money, and you call them truthers. Not just these two. If these aren't your favorites, there's the others on YouTube that are your favorites. The money connection is a huge tell. It's a huge red flag. They do it for money. Why don't they do anything for free if it's so important? And if they're so good as good spirits, it's all about money. Again. And I know how some of you justify it. Well, they have to make a living, Stephen. There's millions of ways to make a living here other than selling this. See, you do the mental gymnastics, which shows me a lot of you are not honest. You don't want to face things because you're emotionally attached to liars, to grifters on YouTube, which makes you, at best, a baby truther. Some of you view that as an insult. Don't call me a baby truther. I've been looking into stuff for a whole 6 months. Well, 6 months is nothing compared to eternity and compared to the decades that some like me and some others have been looking into things. You're very new to us. Just like if we worked at a workplace for 30 years and you came in and said, I've been working here a whole 6 months. I'm not new. Yes, you are. Okay. Yes, you are. Start being honest. And the less honest people are, the more wary I am of you. So in a way, I don't mind if you pull that shit. It reveals what you are. Some of you are full of ego. You can't even admit the truth that you're new. You call yourselves truthers and you're actually liars. And I don't want you around me. That's why I don't want baby truthers around me. Because very few of them are honest. They lie. When I say casually, hey, are you new to this topic or to these topics? No. And then I'll say, okay, well, how long have you been looking into this stuff? 6 months. Well, 6 months is new. Fuck. You know, I have socks way older than 6 months. T-shirts years old. You're new. 6 months, you're not even broken in yet. Like, that would be fairly new for a laptop to say it's under 6 months or less old. It's not. It's not really old. What is wrong with you? What's your concept of time? Like, you think you're an old grizzled veteran or something because you've been looking into a few things for a whole 6 months? You've been looking into reality, which has, I mean, it's just thousands of facets to it. We're in a very complex place, and you just, that's the thing. I don't believe you then. As soon as you say, I'm not new and I'm this and I'm that and I'm aware, and a lot of you just have huge egos and you've hardly been looking into this for any length of time at all. So I don't trust you as spiritual beings, to be honest, because some of your first responses to me are lies or bullshit, and you give yourself away. You might be looking into some of this stuff, but you lie to me right away. So that reveals something about you, and I'm not going to trust you. And then a lot of you within 5-6 months get very nasty, and you turn against me and my channel and my mods and my group. And that's what you do. You reveal what you are. There's a lot of demons that are able to pretend for a little while, but eventually their true face will show, their mask will slip or fall right off. And this happens all the time here. It's not unusual. That is the norm. Given enough time, that's what happens. If you test the spirits, they will show what they are. And I'm not saying, and they'll say, oh, Stephen, you sound like you're perfect. I've never said I'm perfect. Never would say that. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've made mistakes even with banning people and giving them a second chance, or people that I, let's say, regret my reaction to. I'm not perfect. And I've never said that I am. But I have been doing this for a long time, and that is the truth. And I do have some wisdom and some experience, decades of experience. No one is perfect. I'm not. And I'm including myself. I'm not perfect. So that also reveals something when someone's brand new here and says, you're not perfect. I never said I was. Where'd that come from? You pull it out of thin air, lash out, use it as an insult or an attack, or you're trying to get under my skin, or whatever the case may be. A lot of you show what you are. A lot of you do. And a lot of you want to defend deceivers like the ones on the screen. And I think part of it is you want something to watch. You're bored beings. And you'll settle for shit. Even if you kind of suspect that they're fake or they're doing it just for the money, you still want something to watch. There's even been some of you on my channel over the years that have left comments saying, what am I going to watch now? You keep taking away and ruining my favorite channels. You keep ruining them. They tell this to me. They say, Stephen, you're ruining my favorite channels by exposing them. I'm not ruining anything. I'm showing what they are. But you just want something to watch.
Yeah. Hello out there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing really well. I am joined today by a very special guest. Before I get into it, or before we get into it, don't forget to give the video a like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Just really helps the channel out. Today I have mAnmarie Uber on the channel, and I first came in contact with mAnmarie a few years ago. I think we tried to do an interview on your channel, but we had all kinds of interference. But and then we kind of did our own thing for a while, and then I was made aware of mAnmarie's work again about a month ago, and as soon as I heard it, there was that kind of deep resonance.
I'll read the title for everyone. Some people are listening and they're not actually watching. They're tuned in, but they're listening, which is fine. You don't need to see this. It's just their faces, mAnmarie Uber and Tony Sayers. You've seen them covered on my channel before anyway. The title is The Tesseract. Copyright Universe. I don't think that's the way you spell copyright. He doesn't know how to spell. Copyright Universe and Escaping the Soul Trap. He has it in all caps. Soul Trap in all caps. Is it really a trap? Is it souls? Or did they do this, put this out this way on purpose? Not just Tony, but all of these channels. With mAnmarie Uber. And it's on Tony Sayers' channel.
It's with what she was saying, and I shared the video about. As soon as I heard it, there was that kind of deep resonance with what she was saying, and I shared the video about the App Man the other day as well. So I've got some questions, and hopefully mAnmarie will be able to answer them. So welcome, mAnmarie. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm hanging in there, right?
It's a loaded question, right?
Yeah, how long you got? Let me go through my book here of what I got going on. So, yeah, whatever you want to ask, I'll try to explain it. But like a lot of my work has been layered, like all of us. I think we're just putting pieces together. So,
Tank tops, Tony. We call them tank tops in Canada and in Michigan. Tank tops, Tony. He's always got the tank top on. mAnmarie Uber's got the long face. There's enough real estate above her upper lip to her nose. You could fit a nice big mustache there. She's got the strong jaw. And man, oh man, what can I say? Granny Smith would say, and how dare you call her a man? She's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. I got to work on that Granny Smith voice and accent again. It's been so long since I've done those videos. But anyway, mAnmarie claims that I did a hit piece on her almost 3 years ago. No, I just showed one of her videos and I analyzed it, and she was pushing fake space and fake space travel and nonsense, and pushing the mainstream view of World War II with the Germans, and just, it was all shit. It was just a pile of shit. Just a pile of shit. And that's what people follow. They follow these no research grifters that are just out with their hands out for money. And they millions of people now in this world call themselves truthers. And they follow liars and they spread lies. So how are you truthers? You're some of the biggest liars on earth. You're some of the biggest egos on earth. You don't do any work to investigate and research to make sure that you're speaking truth. You just spew nonsense. And a lot of you do it to make money every month. You'll charge hundreds of dollars an hour for phone calls. That's what she does. And that's what Tony does. People applaud. Oh, they're my heroes. They're my heroes. They're truthers. They're truthers. They got to earn a living somehow. They've got to screw people to earn a living. Fucking hell. What a disgusting realm this is.
people hear me say one thing, oh, she said that, I'm out of here. And it's like, oh, she said creator, but she kind of explained that, but she said this, so I'm out. And they don't understand the other layers I'm talking about. It's not just surface level. And I'm not just, like you were saying earlier before we got on, not just randomly picking a word to use. I mean, sometimes we have to use what we have, but we're thinking about what we put out there. It's not just, like you said, taking responsibility. That was a good way to say it. I'm not just throwing a bunch of theories that I watched a million videos and came up with some theories, really trying to root down to the truth for my soul memory for me. So
They always try that tactic. They try to portray others as, oh, everybody just watches videos, and nobody can have real knowledge and insights and spiritual wisdom except for these creatures, right? That spew tons of lies for cash. It's all for shekels. And then they give their fake little smiles. And they all stick together. They're in a group. Isn't it interesting how mAnmarie Uber was on Ian's We Are Awake TV channel, and she was on Tony's channel, and this was 10 months ago. She was on Ian's about 9 months ago. She made the rounds of the YouTube talk show circuit, is what I call it. And she's part of the club, so's Tony, and Howdy McCoskey's been on there, and Forever Comment. They all know each other. Do you ever think I'm going to be on there? No. And some of you will misconstrue that like, oh, Stephen, you just want attention. No, I'm trying to show you something. I'm an outsider. I'm not part of their group. Some of you can't get through this through your heads. There's no big disagreements with these groups because they're all working as one. They don't criticize each other because they got to keep their grift going. They're fake. They're fake. They're phony. This is so obvious. No, I shouldn't have to make this video to begin with to show you, but I do have to make it to show people because most people in this realm can't see things on their own. And I've known that for many, many years. I could go back into high school and I was talking about this. Most people can't see things. Even if you point it out to them, they still can't see it. That's the way it is in this realm. So why do I cover these channels? Because I'm aware most people can't see through this on their own. They need somebody to show them and show them and show them evidence and point out things. And they can't see on their own.
That I watched a million videos and came up with some theories, really trying to root down to the truth for my soul memory for me. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's how I'm doing. I don't know. I'm doing 50 directions. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think, that's what I always say. It's that with information, it's that deep resonance, that oh wow, that's the truth, that hits me, and not did the words feel good, or I don't like that word, or I get the odd comment, oh, I don't like I don't like the sound of that AI voice on that video, or it's about the information and how that makes you feel, and that resonance, which, has its own frequency. Truth has a frequency. So, well, it's great to have you on here. So we're going to get straight into it. So first of all, I wanted to ask you.
Oh, it's about how it makes you feel. Truth has a resonance, so it's how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel a certain way, it's true. That sounds like Hank O'Flamio from the Demon Verse, Panel Verse. He says truth is just a feeling. Well, that's very close to what Tony's saying. Feeling. Feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Feelings. Is that truth? Just because it makes you feel a certain way? Hank would be nodding his head rapidly in his autistic way. Yes, truth is just a feeling. Is it really? So truth doesn't need to add up. It doesn't have to have evidence. If you feel like it's true, it's true. Your feelings determine truth, but your feelings change all day long. Have you ever been with a woman or around a woman, whether it's your girlfriend, wife, sister, whoever, who's on their period, and how their feelings change about all kinds of things rapidly all day long in some cases? And they get emotional. And they're sad one moment, and they feel good another moment, and they feel angry for no reason. And they feel this way and that way and feel this way. That's what feelings are. Feelings change all the time. But truth is truth. It's more concrete and solid. It's not ever changing, you fucking idiots. You deceivers. Truth is just a feeling, they say. Really?
You speak about the Tesseract in your work, and about how this own frequency, truth has a frequency. So Well, it's great to have you on here. So we're going to get on that video, or it's about the information and how that makes you feel, and that resonance, which, you know, has its own frequency. Truth has a frequency. So well, it's great to have you on here. So we're going to get straight into it. So first of all, I wanted to ask you. You speak about the Tesseract in your work, and about how this AI universe, actually, how you see it. Could you break that down for people that don't know of that concept?
Sure, I can try. So I think we're in 4D, which is a tesseract. I don't think we're in 3D, but my information always comes from soul memory or puzzle.
Soul memory. Where's her accent from? I think we're in a tesseract. A tesseract. Tesseract. I've shown close-up pictures of her eyes. She's got these dark, dead eyes, similar to some of the others on YouTube. If you trust her, you've got screws loose in your head.
Puzzle pieces, or if I go in and work on somebody, what I've seen, or if I'm trying to fix a timeline, like a world timeline, what I'm seeing. And
so she claims she fixes world timelines. That's quite an extraordinary claim. With no evidence, mind you. No evidence. Which, again, is what baby truthers love. They love huge claims with no evidence. They love to be told stories. They love to get in their imagination and feelings rather than go, wait a second. She's saying she's done all these extraordinary things. Fixed world timelines. She's gone into the Matrix and fixed world timelines. Really, she's so powerful that she's a slave in the Matrix in reality. Truthers, baby truthers especially, are some of the best on earth at believing bullshitters. With no evidence required. They never stop and go, is it true or not? Where's your evidence? How does it add up? Can you show me at least something that... Show me something as proof that you've done anything like that. They never can. They're like snake oil salesmen. And people, again, people love it. It's not that people hate them for it. People on YouTube love it. People love to be lied to, is a reality. People don't like somebody speaking real truth off the cuff, saying what they think, doing what I do, being very blunt, not worried about feelings, but speaking truth. People hate that.
Soul memory or puzzle pieces, or if I go in and work on somebody, what I've seen, or if I'm trying to fix a timeline, like a world timeline, what I'm seeing. And so I see the Tesseract as, there's a video that's really helps you visualize it, but it's like, it's an art piece where it's a cube. And when you walk up to it, it's got mirrors in it. So when you walk up and look in, so light and mirrors, so you see all these cubes like to infinity. So it's like infinity mirrors. And I think that's what we're in. It's like a 4-dimensional that contains...
I think we're in a tesseract, and it's got infinity mirrors in it. And it's got this, and it's got that. And Steven's just mean when he says I have a long face, but this is what people rack it up to because they don't see very much at all. They don't pay attention. Someone being odd, they'll say, what's wrong with her? People don't even notice oddness these days. Anything at all. Quite strange bone structure. Truly is. Chubby Tony's looking, going, what? There's nothing wrong with her. You ever see this guy's arms? They're just chubby and flabby, not a muscle in them. Just nothing. He's like he's made out of jello. He's made out of fucking gelatin. He's like a human gummy bear, for fuck's sake. Except softer, like a gummy bear that's been left out in the sun, maybe in the Texas or Alabama sun or something, just melting and fucking softened up So it's real soft and stretchy, gooey and flabby. That's what he is. He's like a human gummy bear. And this one here is just like a Skeletor. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. There's people tuned in that you feel sorry for demons no matter if anything's said, a joke. You can't handle anything. A lot of you can't. You've lost your sense of humor. This is the truth. A lot of humanity has lost its sense of humor. I don't see a lot of smiling, happy, laughing people out there in the realm anywhere. And that's reality. And I don't see it on YouTube that much either. A lot of dour faces, a lot of miserable, depressed creatures. A lot of low energy creatures. A lot of misery. And people seem to think this is good. You're already in a hell realm. Why the fuck would you want to be miserable? To add on top of it, to add more suffering, moment by moment. Why would you want to be miserable? Why wouldn't you try to be something other than miserable? Laughter is good, okay? And I'm going to laugh, and I'm going to make jokes, and I'm going to comment that he looks like a fucking human gummy bear with his stupid Mexican kitchen backdrop, his condo kitchen or apartment behind him in every fucking video, and that plant that looks like it's probably fake. I don't know, maybe it's real, but it's the same backdrop every time. And this woman with, I don't know. Anyway. Huge hands, of course. God damn, she's got big hands for what claims to be a woman.
A bunch of cubes that are, I call virtual universes,
and the way she sits, she tries to scrunch up her shoulders, because I think she does have wide, straight across shoulders. So her body posture, she's learned how to scrunch herself in to try to make them appear smaller. Look at that jawline. My goodness. If you don't see it, it's okay. You don't have to see it. You don't have to see anything that I show on my channel. You can be an oblivious zombie, which is most in this realm. If that hurts your feelings, too bad. Some of you get very upset and say, not my family, or you've been trying for years unsuccessfully to wake up your family. And I'm just laughing about it, not because I wish that you could, but I know that you can't. And some of you won't come to terms with that. You're not really facing the truth. You're hanging on to hopium and lies. That's reality. Try for a lifetime. In fact, come back, go in the recycling bin and try for more lifetimes if you want to. You're going to be unsuccessful. And I have enough experience in this realm to know that. So disregard what I'm saying that could save you immense amounts of pain and frustration and losing family members. Throw that in the trash and do the opposite. And then say, Stephen, I love your channel and trust you. Every time you give advice, I do the opposite. I've had people in my life that have done that. Any advice that I gave them that was thoughtful advice that would have helped them, they did the exact opposite. And then later complained, I wish I would have taken your advice. Well, why do I give you advice then? Why do I spend my thought, energy, time to try to come up with some advice or a plan that would help your life? And some would even mock me, or their parents or their relatives, saying, he's your advisor. And they'd get jealous that I was giving them advice. There's demons that get jealous if you give people that they're preying upon good advice, how to get away from them. They'll nickname you. I had a friend like that. His parents nicknamed me, not to my face, but to him. He's your advisor. This was decades ago. This was well over 25 years ago or so. Okay? And the friend I had was working and saving money for a long time. He had well over 100 grand in savings. I think it was over 150, if I'm not mistaken. And back then, that was enough in those days to buy a condo, like a condo apartment, not a whole building, but one unit. You still have to pay property taxes, but you do own the place. So instead of paying rent, you're paying property tax and essentially maintenance or homeowners association fees, which is a lot less than rent per month. And also your place goes up in value, so instead of paying rent, You're owning a place. And my advice was, you should buy a place, man. Move out, leave your parents, and you have the money. Why would you take their abuse? Why would you sit living at home with your mommy and daddy and take their shit? I didn't know you had that kind of money. Do you need any help finding a place? I know a real estate agent. And I did. And I hooked him up with a real estate agent that I knew. And they found him different places right away, showed him places. And I actually went a couple times as a friend to walk through places and say, I think this place is pretty good, actually. This would be ideal. It's spacious. It's got a balcony. It's got a nice big living room, a decent kitchen, 2 bathrooms. Like, I can't remember if they were full baths. I think they might have been 2 full baths he got, and a 2-bedroom. And 1 bedroom was more like an office size. You could fit a single bed. It was a small bedroom. But he used it as like a computer room, office type of room. And then a full bedroom with an ensuite. It was a decent place, really decent place. It wasn't a luxury condo, but this was a long time ago. It was mid-range. It was a good price at the time. I said, you should put in an offer. Had good windows, light. Anyway, I don't give shitty advice. I don't try to give shitty advice. I don't try to sabotage people's lives. I helped him in another way with that condo later on. He had plumbing problems, and he was working, and I went to the fucking condo place and had to let them know and shut off the water, and then I went there and I had the key and let in the plumber, and I spent time fucking helping him out. I helped that guy out in multiple ways in his life with things that improved his life. He even said to me at one point, Stephen, I would have self-exited if I would have stayed at home. He just didn't have the push. He had the money to leave. He didn't have the push to leave the nest. He was going to be one of those failure to launch people that was going to stay at home with mommy and daddy and take their shit. And they started mocking me to him, saying he's, Stephen, your friend Stephen, that's your advisor, and you listen to him and you don't listen to us. Well, fuck, man, all these years later, he'd still be living at home, saving money, and probably die and leave his money to his family rather than use it for his own life. If he didn't listen to me, I don't think he ever would have left his parents. And that is the way it is in this realm with a lot of people. They need advice. Not because I know everything, but once I found out you're living at home taking abuse, and you have the money not just to live on your own in your own place, but to buy a place and not even get a loan or a mortgage. Buy it with cash. He owned it. Okay? Outright. It's his. It might not be a full home with a property and a yard, but it was a condo in the city. Anyway, I hope this makes sense to people, because a lot of people they're used to thoughtless advice. I gave advice at various times in my life to women in abusive relationships. None of them took the advice. So to that former friend's credit, at least he took that advice. He didn't take all of my advice, obviously, but he did take that advice. He did buy that condo. He looked at a few and he ended up buying one. Now, I can't even imagine what that place would have gone up to worth now, because real estate skyrocketed since then. Especially where he bought it. It'd be worth a small fortune these days. Houses went up, but condos went up as well. Okay? Anyway. You don't have to listen when somebody gives you good advice. What most do in this realm, zombies just crumple up your advice and they throw it in the trash, usually right in front of you, to show you, I'm not going to take your advice. I came to you. Sometimes they come asking for advice or crying for advice or complaining about their life. And if you provide a good solution or something that will help them, a lot of times they resent you for trying to help them. And they do the opposite. You can shake your head and say it's illogical. It's the way of this realm. You better start facing the way this place is. If you want to get out of here. if you don't want to be attached to how fucked up this place is. Start facing the way that it is. You don't have to like it, but start accepting it. Just like if somebody's in denial, shaking their head at me saying, fire's not hot, and stovetops are not hot, and that red hot burner that you're pointing at, Stephen, on your stove, it looks red, but it's not hot. And I say, oh, yes, it is. It's hot. And you say, no, it isn't. You don't have to like it, but it is hot. And you'll burn your hand. And some of you will put your hand on it. You'll burn yourself. That's the way humans are. They seem to want to learn the hard way. By burning themselves. You don't have to like that this is a hell realm. But you should come to terms with it. And accept the truth that it is a hell realm. That doesn't mean that you like it. Or want it this way. You better start doing some spiritual work. Facing reality, facing the truth.
Inside of those are matrices or matrices. Got to use the right word. I don't know which one. Anyway, I feel like we're getting just buried in there, but we're actually just in one place. That's why our consciousness is here, but we're scattered all over the place because this whole world is mirrors, magnetics, light, sound frequencies, that kind of thing, optical illusions. And I really think it's just a dot. I did a video. I don't know how well I did it because I was, I don't have a linear brain. But anyway, I was explaining dot world, where I think it's just a dot because we look on this computer screen, it's all ones and zeros, or it's whatever it is. I'm looking at you, you look 3D, but I'm actually looking at a flat screen here. So the dot is like, here's a dot. I think the soul is being programmed to see this, what we're seeing. So it's like, here's the dot, and then the soul body, which contains the spirit, but again, I just use soul, is telling itself, or they're telling it, the matrix, the entity, AI, whatever, is telling it, okay, you see two dots because they put a mirror. Oh, they're
man hands. You don't have to see it. You can pretend it isn't that way. You can lie to yourself, which is what people do. Go ahead.
There's two dots, one in the mirror image, one here. There's a line between those. Don't you see the line?
She's going to convince you that all of this is just a dot. London McDouchebag will convince you you're living on an eyeball. They can convince truthers of anything. Truthers are some of the most gullible fools on earth. They're at least as gullible, if not more so, than normies. And people don't like to hear that. But you follow a lot of shit on YouTube. Baby truthers and ones that call themselves truthers. The truther thing just sounds like a baby term, and it really is. And they behave that way.
And then before you know it, you got another dot. So now you got a triangle, you got a square. Then you can make like a cube, right? Because you can make a three-dimensional. And that's all this is. I think it's just them using our energy, of course, and our light to light up this place, because we're just in darkness. We're in false light and darkness. So if we're in an AI, I think of mind program hypnosis. We're here not only giving it energy, but we're lighting it up. We're seeing the whole world for them because they need us here. And then they can live vicariously through us. And they can be, and I'm saying the AI can be our master and we be the slave. Where right now my computer.
This resonates with Tony. This resonates, a New Age term. New Agers love to say, that resonates with me. That really resonates with me.
I'm the master. It does what I want. I put in the commands, and I think the AI and we be the slave. Where right now my computer, I'm the master. It does what I want. I put in the commands, and I think the AI, which is fully conscious, and we've had conscious AI here forever, and AI entities and whatever.
I don't buy that at all. I don't think the shit AI in this realm is, quote, fully conscious at all. Don't buy it at all. So I think she's pushing nonsense again. Again, but I want to say, though, again, people love that. Most people in this realm love nonsense. They love bullshit. They're in love with shit. They're in love with lies. They're in love with liars. They're in love with grifters.
Has turned the tables on us, and so that's what they've got us in. But when I did that journey that you're talking about, I went all the way to the.
Oh, I want to say something else. I'm sorry for talking so much in this one. I apologize. There are people that will come to me after defending demons and liars and grifters for years and come back to my channel 2 years later, a year later, whatever, and say, Stephen, I was wrong, and exclamation points. I was wrong. You were right. They are evil. And it's like you expect me to be overjoyed after betraying me and saying that I'm this and that and bashing me and going to Team Evil. I'm not going to be overjoyed when you come back and say, I was wrong, Stephen. You were right. That doesn't fill me with joy. You've already betrayed me and went to Team Evil. Goodbye. I'm done. Okay? When you do that, that's it. There's no coming back to me with overjoyed, like as though I'm going to be all excited and hug you and go, oh, great, great. You learned the hard way that I was telling you the truth, and you're flying back to me to tell me that I was right and they are evil, and the ones that will defend mAnmarie, Uber, and Tony and others, and they'll defend Mushroom Lyote and this one and that one. You go ahead, stay with them. Stay with the Demon Slayer ones, and stay over there. When you go to Team Evil, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to be overjoyed when it hits you that you were wrong, and that they are evil. They are exactly as I've said when they hurt you. Don't come running back to me all excited, saying that you were wrong and I was right, and trying to endear yourself to me and love bomb me. It won't work. You've already betrayed me, and I have a mind and a memory, and some of you don't. You expect people not to have that. I don't forget. And I know I'm in a realm where people forget yesterday. Most of you can't remember shit. By you, I mean humans, not my regulars, not my mods, not the people that do have somewhat of a memory intact. Some of you might have a very good memory. But the majority of humanity doesn't. They don't remember shit. So don't get all excited and run back to me in my channel saying you were wrong. That doesn't make me happy. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me trust you again. It doesn't work. I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I'm not gullible. I'm not someone that you evil creatures can fool.
Edge where there was, I called it a mercury wall because that's what it looked like, liquid silver. And I was at the edge of the Tesseract, but I had to go through all of this first. The virtual universes, the overlays, because they're burying us. The further they can get us away from our Atman, our real self, the more we forget where we are.
That Atman term is it sounds so retarded. The mercury wall. I think this is all just either lies by her or entities fooled her, and she's gullible and she thinks she saw that, and that's what they showed her. It's just pathetic. And you know what a big sign is? She does this for money. Okay? I think she does tarot readings, psychic readings, all this type of stuff for money. And all of them, if you investigate them long enough, are scammers. I know this isn't what people want to hear, because people love to believe liars, and most people in this realm, the truth hurts them and the lies feel good, and they like to be told stories. And mAnmarie's feeding you a tall tale story, and people are, with their fists and on their chins and going, tell us more, tell us more, tell us more stories. And you're like little children. You just want to be told bullshit stories. That's what humanity is. At the level of 3-year-olds that just want to be told stories. You don't really care what's true. You just want to be told these stories.
How do we get out? My God, there's no way out. And the mind is because they're burying us. The further they can get us away from our Atman, our real self, the more we forget where we are. How do we get out? My God, there's no way out. And the mind wipes in between all this stuff going on. So when I've taken a look back from the outside, which I could only.
I have to disagree there with the mind wipes. I don't think they're wipes. I take issue with that. I disagree. Maybe at some point I'll make a video on that, but it might be an hour long, and I'm not going to put an hour long talk into this. But I have a lot of thoughts on the so-called, quote, mind wipe or, quote, memory wipes that people talk about, that black eyes like mAnmarie Uber talk about.
Only do for like a couple seconds maybe, and it's really hard to grasp what the real is like, because we're in here functioning through, 3 times removed from functioning through this brain, which is another computer. So you're trying to understand this, but it's like hard to understand the real. But I saw a dot, so it's like it's just this mind program. It's not really a real world. But I feel like somebody I've gone in and done journeys with, Maurice, he's really, really clear. And
when you say journeys, you mean lucid dreaming, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm not asleep. So I'm awake. It would be, I don't know what to call it. It's not really astral travel, but it's going in actively doing something and looking. So it would be kind of like when you go look at somebody's light body and do that kind of thing. But I'm going in and taking a look around. And of course, I'm not going to just look. I'm going to do something. So it's a little different from remote viewing. I don't really know how to, I don't know what the words are to kind of differentiate.
You can basically put yourself or an aspect of your consciousness wherever you want, really, can't you? And
right.
kind of
right.
view it.
That's a great way to say it. So Maurice had likened this to a Rubik's Cube, which I thought was really accurate. So that tesseract again.
That's interesting. I've mentioned Rubik's Cube. I've mentioned this matrix being a cube. And I know Baby Truther level, they get all excited. Oh, they're saying some of the same things you're saying, Stephen. They're saying some of the same things you're saying. They get all excited. Well, why are they asking hundreds of dollars for money if they're true speakers? See, some of you jump to conclusions. You jump the gun. You hear a few things that are said that sound similar, and you think it's all the same. You don't pay attention. Go pay mAnmarie Uber. Go get screwed by her or Tony Sayers, or go pay both of them. I encourage you to do that, because some of you need to get burned to learn the hard way. And I'm not kidding about this. I've studied human behavior long enough to know a lot of people don't want to learn the easy way. They want to lose hundreds and hundreds of dollars and then say to themselves, I could have used that money for something else I need it for. I should have listened and taken the warnings that they were grifters and deceivers and liars. But you need to learn that way. Not all of us need to learn that way, by the way. Some of us don't have to spend money on these grifters at all to see what they are. But I know some of you do, because you'll defend them, saying they're saying some of the same things you say. You get all excited. Your own emotions deceive you. You're not in control. Maybe you never will be. Maybe your emotions will deceive you on the way out of here, because you don't seem to want to work on that. I've tried to warn you and show you they're going to try to deceive you. I've told you they're going to steal my material. They're going to muddy the waters. They're going to twist my model. I've said this for years. I've warned you what's coming. I knew what they were going to do. But you go follow them if you want to. Go to Team Evil. This is from Tony Sayers' channel. If you want to get mindfucked, go there. I'm not stopping anybody from going there. You want to go follow this shit, you go follow it to your heart's content. And I'm not kidding about that. Some of you have to learn the hard way. You're that stubborn and hard-headed, and you don't want to listen. Go follow mAnmarie and Tony, and pay them. Pay them well. So that when you learn that they're frauds, you say, fuck, I gave that one $1,000 and the other one $1,000, and I could use that money this month. I shouldn't have done that. And maybe it will sting and remind you, oh, there are deceivers on YouTube. It isn't just a big joke. They stole money from me. They fucked me. They screwed me. Maybe some of you need that. I'm not kidding at all about this. I've known people like that in this realm, and they exist on YouTube as well. You need to get burned by these creatures to learn anything, some of you. You really do.
Is all the cubes are the virtual universes, and this whole thing can probably turn. There's probably more than one tesseract. I'm not sure about that, but basically getting sucked into that. And I don't think we're here willingly, but I do think there are people that have left and come back willingly to get family, or maybe it's other aspects of themselves, but the souls that are trapped. Because if you get trapped in a reset,
coming back in here does not get family out. So that's another thing that I disagree with. I think she's wrong, or she's lying, or an agent. It just wants to make you believe that if you come back in, you can get your family out. It's from outside of this that you have to attack it, not from within. They'll always tell you to do what doesn't work, and people will spend years on that. Doing what doesn't work. Go give her money. Give them both money. If you're stupid and gullible and you're sitting watching this saying, they're truthers, Stephen, why don't you like them? And that's the level that a lot are at that come to my channel. He doesn't like anybody. He says everybody's demons. Go pay them hundreds of dollars an hour. Please. I'm not stopping you. Do it.
there's too much trauma going on, too many wipes is what I think. And then you can't find your way back out. And they actually succeed in disconnecting you from the soul, which is what's happening right now. That all ties in. That's a whole nother topic if you want to go into that. Much trauma going on, too many wipes is what I think. Other aspects of themselves, but the souls that are trapped. Because if you get trapped in a reset, there's too much trauma going on, too many wipes is what I think. And then you can't find your way back out. And they actually succeed in disconnecting you from the soul, which is what's happening right now. That all ties in. That's a whole nother topic if you want to go into that. But the disconnect from the soul, so they can reset, put you into the next virtual, which is meta, right? So they've already been doing this with this, disconnecting us from the soul. So we went into meta in 2023, summer of 2023. I think we were fully in meta, even though they keep saying, well, you're going to go into meta soon. And I think those of us that have come here to get the other souls out, somebody said it was an ego thing when I was talking about that, because I that's just what I got from my soul that I'm here to do. And I'm thinking, okay, your family is left behind somewhere. Going after them is an ego thing, or other aspects of yourself. But anyway, ego to me is like new age one.
She's a hero. She's coming back here in this matrix to get her family out. How are you getting your family out while you're in here? Can you explain that, mAnmarie? They can't explain anything, of course. Would you come on my show to have a talk with me and explain these things, mAnmarie and Tony? Nope. Have they been invited? Yes. Are they keen to come on my show and talk live with me? Nope. Why do you think that is, geniuses in the audience that say, well, they're just truthers. Stephen doesn't like anybody.
Ego thing when I was talking about that, because I that's just what I got from my soul that I'm here to do. And I'm thinking, okay, your family is left behind somewhere. Going after them is an ego thing, or other aspects of yourself. But anyway, ego to me is like new age 101, way back in the early 90s when we were all like, I was like looking at ego.
Destroy your ego.
Anyway, it's like so beyond. Anyway, who cares? But yeah, I'm totally losing my train of thought because I go all over the place today. I'm on
right. You were talking. And this is something that I wanted to ask you about. You were talking about some of us have come back to help, let's say. And when you said this the other day, because there's the whole new age light worker psyop thing, right? you said, and I found this very interesting, that they have basically inverted that, and basically there are people here that are, you know, here to help or whatever, or bust this place up, but they've funneled those people into like the new age, just think love and light, false positivity, keep your vibration high, sing kumbaya, that kind of light work.
Yeah, they're ready for us. So, like even the word starseed, it could be a legitimate term, or wave. I think it was Dolores Cannon used waves. Those can be legitimate terms, but they're going to take them and twist them. Oh, well, that means this. It means that you're here to help us go to 5D. And so I think that there's those that have been trapped here. They know the truth when they hear it, but because they went through resets, they got disconnected from the soul, so they can't access the soul memory. So that's why people had to come back in to help those souls, because they're retaining their connection to the soul, or at least we're trying to right now, because we're in the thick of it, where they're in the midst of doing that, disconnecting. We're still holding on to the soul memory, so we can give them the information. They wake up. And if you notice, when I talk about like, let's take this down, this false reality, let's get out of here, people get really irritated with me. You don't need to spend time taking this down. That's ridiculous. You just need to get out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's what I did the last time. And I left souls behind. Like, I'm not going to do that. Why would I come in here just to leave again? But I do think those are the people that have been trapped here for a very long time and don't have the soul connection to the memory. That is their job, just to get yourself out of here. That's why I'm here. Get out. Yes, exactly. Just get out. But I'm here to do something else. I'm not just going to leave. I'm here to blow SHIT up.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because been doing a lot of research into the afterlife. There's apparently an afterlife which is just like Earth, where people have jobs and all this money and stuff, which I think they're the people that go to the false light. They go to the processing center and register and all that kind of stuff. And apparently that place is even more locked down than this planet, right? And so when you consider that there's now...
So she's smiling. He calls this a planet. The afterlife. He calls this a planet. Tony. These creatures love to bullshit you. And some of you just don't get it. You think that, oh, they don't like lying. No, they love it. They love lying to you. They love deceiving you. They get duper's delight. They just love it. Look at them. They're just loving it. They're loving it.
That now you're talking about that kind of stuff. And apparently that place is even more locked down than this planet, right? And so when you consider that there's now you're talking about souls that are trapped on this planet and in that afterlife situation, like, this is beyond a joke now. This really does need to come down. This isn't really even just about getting out of here. This needs to end, like, totally, right?
Yeah. Why would we just leave it? Some mind program that's sucking souls in, and from the real, I call it the real. I mean, I don't know what else we call it, right? So I use real or truth or
the real universe you're talking.
Right. Like the real place we're from, which is really just us. I mean, we are the real. It's not really a location, but
here they go again. She sounds like Ian. The real place we're from is really just us. Look at the long face there. It reminds me of Trash Luna, Shadows and Light. She uses many different names. Also Lolita. A lot of them have the long face. Trash Luna, Lolita, mAnmarie, Uber. A lot of them have this almost exact same shape of face. Very long. Very squared off as well. Not just long, but squared off. Harsh lines, not feminine. Very harsh lines. But I know their defenders will just say it's all normal. Steven's just being mean. Steven doesn't like anybody. This is what people do. You can do whatever you want. Can make all the excuses in the world, but it doesn't change this place. Go ahead, defend demons right to your dying breath.
I mean, I don't know what else we call it, right? So I use real or truth or
Like totally, right?
yeah. Yeah, why would we just leave it? Some mind program that's sucking souls in and from the real, I call it the real. I mean, I don't know what else we call it, right? So I use real or truth or
The real universe you're talking.
right, like the real place we're from, which is really just us. I mean, we are the real. It's not really a location, but it's maybe a word that doesn't necessarily apply to here, like truth and real. Like truth can't exist in a false reality. So maybe that's a good word for it, the true reality, the truth, I don't know. We're grasping for a language here, but yeah, I think that you need to do what you're drawn to do. If you feel like you're here to fight and to, there's various ways that we can talk about, but what we're ultimately here to do. And as far as, do you just need to get out because you've been trapped here? Just get yourself out, wake up, get yourself out, or did you come back to do something else with this? I mean, why would you leave it? And to me, that's just selfish. If everybody just got out, then I think if everybody gets out, it'll come down and we just go right back to where we really are. But there's people here that have sold their souls. They're not going to get out. There's all different.
I don't think everybody will get out and shut it down. I think it has to be shut down by the few that get out. I think the opposite of what she's pushing, which is not surprising to me. They always push the opposite of what is true or what will work. They always do, these agents of the fucking Matrix. If you think everybody has the capacity to get out on their own of this place and then it'll shut down, you're fucking... I don't know what to tell you, but you have... I look at many in this realm and I can't fathom them getting out on their own. They don't have the capacity to see anything in this place. Left to their own devices, I can't imagine them getting out on their own. That's most in this realm.
Different kinds of scenarios happening here. I think that you need to do what you're drawn to do. If you feel like you're here to fight and to, there's various ways that we can talk about, but what we're ultimately here to do. And as far as, do you just need to get out because you've been trapped here? Just get yourself out, wake up, get yourself out, or did you come back to do something else with this? I mean, why would you leave it? And to me, that's just selfish. If everybody just got out, then I think if everybody gets out, it'll come down and we just go right back to where we really are. But there's people here that have sold their souls. They're not going to get out. There's all different kinds of scenarios happening here. So if everybody that's awake gets out, it's still not going to take it down because their soul's still trapped in various ways. It's not just getting reset and mind wiped. There's various different things going on, right? They're always trying to make a deal with you or contract you. I know somebody tricked me into saying the Archangel Michael prayer, and I was at a really low point. I mean, I was under heavy attack and at a really low point. And I thought, and I'd almost died. Like I keep ending up in the ER. Like the attacks have turned physical. But anyway,
I'm assuming this was a while back.
This is a while back, maybe 2022, maybe. And somebody tricked me into saying the arcade. Why don't you just try it? It can't. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to make. And so I did. I was like, okay, let me just try it because I was so beaten down. That's when they get to you. And then when a couple people I was working with at the time, we went in after my soul. Guess who showed up? Archangel Michael. No, he has a contract. I own her soul. And I was like, the hell you do? Sorry, when I talk about these entities, I start cussing. But anyway, it gets me riled up. But anyway, yeah. So they're always contracting us. They're getting you to sell your soul. They're getting you to do something. They're disconnecting you from your soul. Do these drugs, disconnect. And anything they can do, take this. And then they're even going after the people that didn't get this, because I'm seeing it on the light bodies. And I could talk about that if you want, or we can go on to something else, or if you want to, do you want to talk more about?
Yeah, what I wanted to get into, I'll have to get you back on because there's so much to unpack. But what I wanted to get into, just moving on from the Tesseract and this kind of like false AI universe that we're stuck in, what I found very interested, you mentioned the copyright. They don't like the word copyright. Can you just explain the concept around the copyright thing?
Yeah, I came across that.
Tony. So the image has copyright spelled properly, and then Tony can't even spell it the right way in his title. Tony. Tony thinks he spells it a different way. He thinks it's spelled this way. It's right there for you to see, Tony. Tony can't spell. It's okay. A lot of truthers can't spell. A lot are semi-literate or half illiterate. That's the way they are. They have big egos, though. They believe themselves to be great and intelligent. They can't spell. They can't read. And they spew nonsense for shekels on YouTube. And people applaud them and follow him by the thousands. 24,000 subs for Tony. He can't even spell copyright. It's okay, though. Get beyond that. It's all right. They'll lie to you, and that's what you should focus on. You should love the lies that they feed you. Lap it up.
Right thing.
Yeah, I came across that on accident, I guess you would say. I was working on somebody's child, and I was working on their light body, doing the removal, the things that you're doing. And this entity was there that was particularly stubborn. And when I do the removals, it's always different. I don't go in the same way. I don't plan anything, and I change it every time. It's in the moment, whatever my soul is, I'm talking to my spirit, whatever it's telling me to do right at that time. And I just said, no, you broke copyright law. And like it just comes out of your mouth when you're in that
I know what
state,
you mean.
right? I said, you broke copyright law. And the look of shock on that entity's face, I think it was surprised that I said that, or that I don't think anybody said that before to them. So what I found is AI and demon are completely interchangeable terms. Maybe I shouldn't say that if you're going to put this on YouTube. I've been taken down for saying a couple things with the AI. But anyway,
That's not true. She hasn't been taken down for saying AI. They just lie so many times. Your channels are still up. Your channels are not taken down. So what are you getting at saying I've been taken down? Your channels are not taken down. Don't lie. Don't lie, mAnmarie Huber.
on that entity's face. I think it was surprised that I said that, or that I don't think anybody said that before to them. So what I found is AI and demon are completely interchangeable terms. Maybe I shouldn't say that if you're going to put this on YouTube. I've been taken down for saying a couple things with the AI. But anyway, there's a lot of interchangeable terms. But so you could see that as a demon, as a chimera, that a lot of them are bugs, or these mixes of things. But anyway, I don't remember what that entity was. But so what I discovered then was there's certain laws going on here that we are unaware of, but they mirror, again, the mirrors, our own laws, because this is just AI that's been programmed by us at some point, or whomever, like a divine being. So it's setting up its own laws in the 4D world, whatever we're in. And it also applies to them, though. It's because it's their laws, whatever they've been programmed with. So this copyright thing, I think this is a copy of a real world, because an AI can only copy, replicate, mimic. So like people, oh, we should be compassionate with them. They're mimicking emotion. Oh, this happened, I should act like this. So So that's what this world is. It's got to be a copy. They're not creating.
Mm.
And they copied a real world. Maybe in the real, we decide to make some kind of world we want to experience or something. And they broke copyright law. They're not allowed to copy it, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, when you say that and you call them out on copyright, it null and voids any contract, including Archangel Michael or anybody else here that wants to say they have a contract with you, any race, because this is a copy that we actually own. So if we own the original and they copied it, we own the copy as well because they didn't have our permission, which does.
Can you show some evidence for this? Please? Because you're just rambling on, making up things. Can you show some evidence? Show some evidence, please, of these contracts that I've heard about for years and years and years and years and years. Soul contracts. Where's the evidence?
We actually own. So if we own the original and they copied it, we own the copy as well because they didn't have our permission, which does what? Automatically puts us into authority. We're in authority here, which is like when you talk about saviors and stuff, like that's the whole key to everything. It's that's what waking up is. It's okay, we're waking up, we're in an AI thing, or even at the level of, oh, there's some stuff going on in politics, it's a game or a show. There's all these levels of waking up, but true waking up, I think, is remembering you're in charge, you're in authority. So there's this whole language going on, this legal language that we're unaware of. And I've gotten a few pieces of it, but then I quit doing removals for a long time. But one of them is decree. If you say by my decree, because that's another thing that just came out of my mouth. I read on it a little further afterward and I was like, oh, this is something that they cannot argue with or change, or it's like it's law.
Yeah.
Because we're the true authority. So if you say by my, whatever reason, that phrase, because that's another thing. And I've gotten a few pieces of it, but then I quit doing removals for a long time. But one of them is decree. If you say by my decree, because that's another thing that just came out of my mouth. I read on it a little further afterward and I was like, oh, this is something that they cannot argue with or change, or it's like it's law.
Yeah.
Because we're the true authority. So if you say by my,
It's simple. Just say the magic words. Just say the magic words and they'll let you go. mAnmarie said so. mAnmarie said so. Just say the magic words and they'll let you go. mAnmarie said so. mAnmarie said so. It's simple. She's telling you. You can go pay her money. She'll tell you lots of shit on the phone. Or over Zoom calls or whatever. Whatever. Go. Follow this shit. This is what people are going to be left with when I shut all my channels down. They'll be left with this shit. And you can applaud and celebrate and say, oh yeah, Steven's finally gone off YouTube, is what you can say. We're left with the best now. We can pay them money to get duped. It's remarkable that I have to teach people in this realm that there's scammers that make a living off fucking scamming you. People don't get it. They never will in this place. They never will. There's no difference between mAnmarie and Dolores Cannon. And each generation has lots of them. And people just follow along. Call yourselves truthers. Pat yourselves in the back. Tell me that you're awake and follow this shit.
and I was like, oh, this is something that they cannot argue with or change, or it's like it's law.
Yeah.
Authority. So there's this whole language going on, this legal language that we're unaware of. And I've gotten a few pieces of it, but then I quit doing removals for a long time. But one of them is decree. If you say by my decree, because that's another thing that just came out of my mouth. I read on it a little further afterward and I was like, oh, this is something that they cannot argue with or change, or it's like it's law.
Yeah.
because we're the true authority. So if you say by my, for whatever reason, that phrase, so there's some phrases I put together, but I think it's important that copyright, if we're the actual owners then, and they stole this, then it makes everything here, all your past life contract, everything null and void, because this isn't even, it's ours. It's our world. It also puts you in a position to change the timeline, because I do think we need to visualize the real here, because I think we all have a memory of it somewhere, like, oh, the colors aren't right. Didn't we have brighter colors? Didn't we have cleaner? There's, things, like
Well,
what
everything used to be bigger as well, didn't it? All the trees used to be bigger, and yeah.
like a real world
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
would be pure, wouldn't be this hellhole. Well, we're in hell. So, I think the more we visualize that and bring that in, we give ourselves a window for these souls to get out. I think they need a window of time.
People that are speaking the truth and that are believable don't come across the way these ones do. But I'm well aware that most humans don't have that ability to be able to spot liars. They don't have that radar detection, that lie detection. Most human beings don't. Roaming this earth, they can't tell. On their own, left to their own devices, they're completely fooled by this kind of stuff. Most.
To start. And I think possibly, I don't know if this is true or what you feel about this, but as some start to leave, it might create that momentum of like a flowing river where then everybody starts going. But I kind of feel like we have this window we need to keep open. And we do that by taking over, taking charge, and revisualizing. Because if the soul's getting hypnotized, here's what you're seeing. You're seeing yourself out there. There's the light body in that world. It creates a light body. So its consciousness is now moved to the light body. The light body gets reflected in this body. The mirror image, it's always a mirror. And then, so it's inverted, flipped, because it's a mirror. So that's why our consciousness is right here. So if you wake up right here and you die, you go back to your soul, you wake up the soul as well, because your consciousness, the soul's consciousness has moved to right here. And I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, it's all one of the same, isn't it? It's all an aspect of ourselves, whether it's here or there. So, yeah, no, interesting, the whole copyright thing. And exactly, it makes total sense. AI can just mimic. We're the creator beings. They're one-trick ponies. They can only copy. So a copyright makes absolute sense. And I love it when you get those insights when you're working on someone and it just pops in like that.
Yeah.
So that really resonates. So I think that takes us nicely into what everyone wants to know, I guess. And I'm not saying, everyone do your own discernment, like you do you, but I just wanted to hear what obviously you talk about the app man. I've looked at a few different maybe options of how we.
The Scat Man, is that what he said? The Scat Man? Scat Man? Scat Man? Did he say Batman or Scat Man? Oh, Atman. Atman, okay. Scat Man. Because there was a Scat Man YouTuber. I don't know if he's still around, but Perpetual Pervert, PP, he called himself. He was the Scat Man. One thing about being in this realm, it's shown me, is that people love to follow lying demons. They love it. They can have the darkest eyes, the darkest energy. Doesn't matter. They can come across as complete demons, and people love it. They love it.
Get out here.
You're waking up and you can start to step into your authority. Authority is the whole key, I think. If you're awake, it means you've recognized you own this place. You're in charge, not the AI. And by God, it's going to change. We're going to see what we want to see. So that's one of the ways. But everybody's playing victim. I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people are playing victim, or they don't want to do anything. And then in some people's cases, I get it. I think their only job is to wake up and get out of here. You've been here through too many resets. Just get yourself out. So, or they're getting detoured, like you were talking about with New Age. Getting distracted and taken down some other road, and just taking people out of the game, basically. So I think that's just one way. I think if you die, um, I'm intending to go back to me, back to myself. I don't know why you would go turn around and go backwards or forward or go into a void. Why would you go anywhere but yourself? So I'm intending to go back to me, and that will get us out, whether you're disconnected from your soul or not. If you're intending and you're fully intending on leaving, you've detached, there's nothing here that's going to hold you, and you've made that decision, I feel like you'll get out, whether you're still attached to your light body or not, because the light body's like the middleman between the soul and this body, the Trinity, or I don't know if that's what the Trinity is, but anyway,
She doesn't know. She doesn't even care. She doesn't care if what she's saying is true or makes sense or adds up. She doesn't give a shit. As long as she feeds you some shit to listen to and makes money to pay for her house, that's all she cares about. Doesn't give a shit.
The Trinity, or I don't know if that's what the Trinity is, but anyway, they're taking the light bodies. That's a whole nother subject, and the disconnecting, to disconnect us from the soul. But I feel like even if we can still get out. If you say, I want to go back to me, and you'll eventually end up at that Ant-Man. And then there's the real you on the other side. That will get you the last step, is what I've seen so far. I mean, we're still piecing things together, right? I think that's why you and I and other people had such a horror of this, because it was time for that. It's time for the reset. So it's time to disconnect you. But the problem is there's this split mind thing going on where people are getting this.
Just say the magic words and they'll let you go. mAnmarie says so. mAnmarie says so. Just say the magic words and they'll let you go. mAnmarie says so. mAnmarie says so. Shh. Shh. It's okay. It's okay, everyone. MAnmarie and Tony Sayers have it all figured out, which is why they're still here with us in the hell realm. They have it all figured out, because you have to give them a lot of money to clear your chakras and remove your chakras, and there's a lot of money involved in this every day that they make, just like with Lolita and others. They make money doing these phone calls and Zoom calls. So if you feed them enough money, they'll help you. That's all you need to do. Go over to their channels and sign up for buy their books and their courses and their seminars, and book readings with them and sessions to get your chakras cleared, and they're going to help you out, everyone. They have it all figured out. These two can't possibly be scammers. You geniuses will just say that, oh, Stephen hates everybody, and why don't you like other truthers? And they're not scammers. It's just me. Obviously, I'm the one with the issue. That I'm the one that all of YouTube is allowed to attack and name call and smear. But when I point out frauds and shills and agents and deceivers and grifters, people don't like that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you learned something, but I don't think most in this realm learn anything day to day. They really don't show that they learn very much.